How are you? Tammy Louise here with TLC Designs. And it is a stormy, kind of cold 50 degrees today here in the state of Michigan. And rainy and cloudy all day, which doesn't make for a ton of fun. But, April showers bring May flowers. So we're hoping that everything starts to bloom. I'm personally partial to my tulips. So we're going to try and get outside and clean some of that up so that the new life can come back in 2021. We definitely need that. So we had a lot going on this week. I was very, very excited. And as you pop on here, I want to make sure I, welcome you. I welcome everybody that's new to the weekly creative time that we spend here. I spend as much time as possible to live creatively, which is what TLC Designs is all about. Finding a place and a space in your life that brings you joy. We have had loads and loads more people actually enter the creative designing group, and I'd love to see all of you tonight if you get an opportunity. We sent out a ton of emails as well regarding tonight's show. It is the second half of the mini-series, Spring Fling Coloring. I want a lot of what's going to go on here in May at TLC Designs is about coloring. I have one of the design team members that has a mini-series set up already on her Instagram page. Caffeinated. Her name is Shanna Slater. I'm not sure exactly the name of her Instagram page as she joins us tonight. Maybe we'll get that information from her. But she did some really cute, quick coloring, and she shows you how she starts from beginning to end. And if you haven't tried some of the mediums that maybe you already bought, like when I set up the TLC Design Studio here, which is brand new. We just moved to this home, if any of you are new and didn't already have that information. When I set that up, I saw that I have loads and loads and loads of mediums that I don't use. Usually I color with Copic ink because it was the easiest. But now that I do this portion of the industry, I don't actually get a lot of opportunity to color. Some of the coloring that I do get to do is in the Procreate program, and it's like watercolor brushes and things like that. And it's more of a digital coloring so that I can do the product package inserts, advertisements, things like what I sent out to you all today. So, but I do love it. It does bring me joy, and it's relaxing. It's very calming for me. So I like to share anything that I enjoy with everyone that wants to come in to TLC Designs and enjoy it with us. I want my husband, who is my tech guy, to put that advertisement up, please, for the design team call. So he's going to pop that on the page. Let me... Design team call, and I printed that out so that I could read it while it was up on the screen. It is a 6-month term from June 1st, 2021 until November 30th. We are looking for 5 or 6 card designers that love, and actually, I don't want to close that completely to card designers. If you're a scrapbooker or someone that does the albums, things like that, I would certainly be more than open to looking at whatever you might create, as long as you're capable of using the TLC Designs products. I guess it doesn't really matter to me what it is that you make with them. So 5 or 6 card designers that love what they do. That's important because I've been on a lot of design teams myself early, like 15 years ago. I don't want to age myself completely, but been on a lot of design teams. And sometimes, I'm sorry?
You're old.
I am old. Only 3 months older than him. He's old. I was on a lot of design teams, and sometimes you find yourself really falling in love with maybe a portion of what that company that you're trying to work for. You love their dies, or you love their images, their illustrations, or something like that. And you fall in love with them, and then they ask you to do, outside of the normal, or they come up with a different product and maybe you're not fond of it quite as much anymore. If that were to happen, you need to make sure you communicate that with the owner of the company, because disinterest leads to a little bit less organization, and companies, small companies, especially small stamping companies like mine, we really do depend on reliable design team members. And those people are the ones that post on time. They don't need to be babysat. They love what they do. They take beautiful pictures, and they want to grow, and they want to learn what they can from other portions of the industry. Maybe they're members of YouTube, or maybe they color in classes and things like that, but they want to continue to grow. Those are the type of people that need to apply for design teams. And, I welcome anyone that actually loves card making. Now, this is die work, includes interactive dies, which we do have the double dial die and the See You in the Center die currently, but we have 2 more dies that are interactive on their way. And there is one that I have not designed as of yet and sent in for production, but that should be probably midsummer, June or July. So there are going to be several different interactive dies, and character coloring, including both polymer stamps and digital. I do a little bit of illustration. I haven't done it in a while. I'm feeling the urge for a freebie. One of my freebie images that are always very popular that bring people into the store to see what kind of things are going on with TLC, but I'm feeling that for Mother's Day. So take a peek and look around for that really soon, or an advertisement. If you haven't subscribed to the store yet, go to James, would you run a banner across the bottom? Excuse me, tlcdesigns.shop. Go in there, subscribe, and then when emails go out, you get automatic information on sales or pops, new releases, everything that's going on in the store. You'll get a notification in your email, and you can stay up to date with that. If you have not joined the TLC Designs Creative Sharing Facebook group, please do that. That's where the information for the Design Team Call is actually being held right now. And then the TLC Design Store is also a great place to keep up with when other people, I just posted for Cassie Hulette. She does the prettiest no-line watercoloring I have ever met. I'm sure that there are people out there that do really good work, but I haven't met them. Cassie does fantastic work, and I just posted some of her work on the TLC Design Store page recently. If you haven't had a chance, pop over there and check it out. She's fantastic. So the call is open worldwide. Let me get through this design team call. From April 28th, which was yesterday, until May 7th. So approximately a weekish, a few extra days, maybe 10 days. We're excited to invite you if you are curious and adventurous, enjoy being part of a supportive community to inspire, educate, and uplift other crafters. Also, if you are enthusiastic, creative, and committed stamper who is both talented and dependable. And the link that you need to follow will take you to, you could go to the TLC Designs Creative Sharing group, Facebook group. Can you put that address up on a banner? He'll slide that across in just a few minutes. So that's the newest information. I've already had loads and loads of applicants. I love to see people attempt to grow by applying for design teams, because it's a very important start step in this industry. If you learn how to work with other people's products and you enjoy it, and you increase your skills and take constructive criticism on how your photographs look, or if your lighting needs work or things like that, that just grows you as an artist. And the design team area is always where I found a ton of support from the ladies that I work with. Actually, I was on a design team with one of the members that are now on my design team, Melanie. I was on it years and years and years ago. And her and I really worked closely together with trying to grow our skills and trying to become the type of artist that we wanted to be. And that's a really strong aspect of being on a design team. So if you have interest, please apply for that design team post. We'd love to have your application in, and we appreciate it. If that is the, did you copy from going to the page and get the actual hyperlink?
To TLC Designs Creative Sharing?
Yes. If you take that link and pop that in on a thing, then they'll know exactly where to go. Or you could just type, I guess, TLC Designs Creative Sharing in there. and pop over to the Facebook page. You have to, that's a private group, so you have to ask to be a member, and then I'll approve it, and then everything will flow from that point. So having said all that, before I take my glasses off and start to craft tonight, I am going to take a look at who's in. Hi, Chris. We have Vicky. Hey, hon. Can't wait to watch. Oh, good. So we have very excited people in here. Kathy, please. Nice to have you, Kathy. Hi, Dawn. Nice to have you here. And Natalie. Hi, Natalie. I spoke with you yesterday. And we have a Tasha RJ. Nice to have you here. And just loads and loads of people in. And I can't even see the YouTube followers. So that's great. Fantastic. Glad that you are all here. Mr. Cunliffe, if you could turn the camera to not the close-up, but the medium, we will go down to the artwork and start getting to what we're going to do today. Okay, so what do we have today? We have the second half of the mini-series, Spring Fling Coloring. And last week, if you have not had a chance to take a peek at what was going on last week, please go find the replay on the Facebook group and watch that. If you have already seen all of that, I'm glad that you're here to see the second half. Some of the pleats and the things that I might show you could be new to what you've done in the past, so that's great. This is, and I'm going to recap some of the information that I work with. This is the Canson Bristol Vellum paper, 260 GSM medium. I used a VersaFine black pigment ink to stamp the images. Let me get the paper pad for you so that I can put it on screen. It's 100 pound, and this particular pad has, I don't know how many sheets. Oh, 15 sheets, 9 by 12. So this is for the colored pencil coloring that I'm going to do. And I used my Faber-Castell set. And this is the template that I used to choose the colors. The ones that I've chosen today are called Rose Carmine, Deep Scarlet Red, Cobalt Green, and Leaf Green. And I'll show you why I decided to do pink and greens when we get done with these. So put that off to the side. Here is what we're going to finish coloring for them. Then we're going to do Copic. This is the original Copic coloring we did last week on the hair. This week I've chosen these three pinks. They are RV02, RV04, and RV06. Here is my chart for Copic coloring. And I just choose three colors. You're going to want a basic medium color. You want a darker color, usually in the same group with Copic ink, and up 2 numbers. So that's why I went RV02, RV04, and RV06. So RV04 would be the basic color. RV06 is going to be where the darkest sections and the pleats look shaded. And then you're going to get a highlight color to make it look like light is hitting that spot of your illustration a little bit stronger. So that's how that works. I don't need these. So this is the pink tone that I chose for Copic, and the green or turquoise tone that I chose for the Copic is BG15, BG18, and BG23. Okay, so there is what we're going to color with. This is the watercoloring, and this is my template sheet for the Derwent Inktense watercolor pencils. That's the set that we were working with last week on the facials. And the colors that I chose, 3 greens and 3 pinks, and I have a white to kind of give a little bit more of a highlight to the project. Carmine Pink, Crimson, and Hot Red are the 3 colors of red for the Inktense. And the other colors for the turquoise are going to be teal green, Ionian green, and mallard green. Okay, so those are the pencils colors that we're going to use. This is last week's hair and skin tone with the ink tints. And we will put this off to the side. These pens are going to roll around all night and make me crazy. Now, this is why I chose these colors. I have a digital paper pack called Perfectly Precious that's in the store and available right now. And it has the mint green. It's kind of like a turquoisey green. And then it also has that hot pink. And when I create a card with what?
If you lay them on here, they won't roll.
Oh, he's so smart. He got me a towel. Thank you. You're so nice. Okay. When I'm done doing these coloring, I intend to use this paper and create a project with it next week. So, isn't that cute? I love this paper. It's so springy. It's the funnest paper. I want to also mention, ladies and gentlemen, anyone that might be having joined us, let me check and see if I'm missing any messages. Vicky. Oh, Chris. Oh, Dawn likes my earrings. Thank you, Dawn. Chris needs a tech guy. She says, I need a tech guy. Hi, Natalie.
Me too.
Hey, tech guy. Howdy, Vicky said. Are you catching this?
Yeah.
You're not old. See, Kathy knows I'm not old. Isn't that fun? So, hello from New York. Hi. Sheila Fisher, nice to have you. Hi, Steph and Leanne McKinney. Hi.
Mandy Me.
Oh, Mandy May is here too. So nice to meet all, or to have all of you ladies again, and meet any of the new ladies as well. It's always really fun. We have a good time. I have some people that just love to come on Thursday and join me, and it makes my night. It really does. So I want to announce something. I'm trying to get to everything. I have made the decision to do paper packs, and I have figured out a cost-effective way of doing it. So some of the digital paper packs that are in the store currently are going to be real paper. Now, having said that, I'm hoping it's May 7th that we have everything in the already created, produced, manufactured, paid for, and in the store by May 7th, because once this is design team and the call ends, I won't be quite as busy going through applications and things like that. And I'll have an opportunity to spend some time making sure that I have all of that in the store and ready for sale.
I think I like that idea.
Do they? What are they saying?
Woohoo.
Woohoo, Steph, you want real paper? I know you, girl. Sheila, yeah. See, a lot of you do like the real paper, and I get it. There's nothing better than to have that paper to just like run through a pad and say, oh, it's so pretty. And you don't have to worry about the ink, and you don't have to worry about the expense. It does run out, however, but paper pads aren't all that expensive. So it is one of the products that are a little bit more affordable anyway. And I figured, let's just do it. So we are going to. I'm going to get started. And last week I started with Copic, didn't I, James? And I'm not doing that this time. I'm definitely going with the one that I struggle with the most. Pencil. He knows how I struggle. Okay. So James, if you could switch the camera to the one that is super close. Oh, he's way ahead of me, ladies. So I hope that is close enough. You're the tech guy. Yeah, he's got all the tech whiz stuff. He's also very good geographical. I am the kind of person that knows when I'm going west versus east, but you get me into like a city and yeah, I'm lost. He can find his way out of a closed paper bag. I'm not sure how, but there you have it. So let me start by saying we're going to put the dress blue because we have a lot of pink going on the top here, and we can do pink on the tights. And we need a color that kind of pops in the center when you're looking at her as a focal point, right?
Fluorescent green.
Fluorescent. That'd be yucky.
That'll pop.
But that's true. And there is something to be said about fluorescent coloring because I have seen some really pretty stuff out there lately. Ladies are doing a fantastic job. So I'm going to say the best thing that I learned about...
Your ponytail's not colored, Sheila says.
It is too. It's right here. I didn't get to it last week because this is the last one that I worked on, and we went, I think, an hour and a half. So it went a little bit long. Is anybody else asking any questions from YouTube or anything like that that I need to know about?
No.
Okay. So we're going to put one layer down, and I'm going to use a nub that is already put into Spectrum Noir Gamsol blending solution. And the color that I'm using first, I probably should have just let you know what it was, cobalt green. So I dipped the nub in the Gamsol, and I'm just going to allow it to melt the wax that's holding the pigment for that particular pencil. Okay. And I don't know how close you can see that. And I got to move this way. But it became much smoother of an appearance than it was originally. And I'm going to put a little bit of that color up here on the straps. Just a little bit of this blue this way. And then I'm going to, next to each of these raised pleats, if you look at the, what do you call it? Hills and hollows. Hollers. I knew he was going to say that. Of this pleated, of this pleated tutu. You can tell that this section right here should be darker than the sections that are rising. This is a rise, this is a lower. So if you start to practice that, you do get it in your head where the lighter colors should be versus the darker colors. So this is the lighter color. We're just going to add a little bit of this lighter color in the section. And it's also kind of like you're building a upside down V. You're going to go upside down in a V, like just like that, like in a section. So we're going to build like another V right here, because this is a high, and these are the low, low, low. This is a high, and this is a high. It kind of sounds like I'm saying that everybody's high. What?
She looks like a troll pebble.
Pebbles? Yeah, like Bam Bam and Pebbles. Yeah, I said that actually, I think last week. These reminded me of those Flintstone characters. She's super cute. I love her and red hair. That's why I was so excited to kind of, I can probably guarantee everyone the project that I make next week is not going to be with the pencil coloring, because I know that I struggle with it. And if I'm going to make a project and spend time doing it, this is a sandpaper for color penciling. And I noticed as I tried to blend that turquoise that I had a little bit of pink from previous coloring on it. So I'm going to take that color off of my blending stub, which I learned the proper name of this last week. I'm going to take some of that pink off and dip it again in the Gamsol and just make sure that I don't blend any pink where it doesn't belong. So let's just continue to barely brush over where you put the turquoise. I love the fact that these images are big enough to actually get color in here. Some of the stuff that's out right now in the industry is super small. You just can't get any technique in it, I guess. This is the downfall to it. Okay, so then I'm going to go over to the pinks real quick and just let that Gamsol sit for a minute. And I think what I want to do is the light is going to be coming. You can see where I put the light in the hair and the face. It's almost directly in the center, so it's coming from like right here. So if that were true, then this section of the tights would be the lightest section inside here in the center. So I'm going to leave a little bit of white.
Some blending stuff.
That's what I said.
Just making sure.
It's blending stuff. He's finding stuff and showing me stuff on his iPad while I'm trying to entertain you all with coloring. Just like a man, right? Is anybody saying anything? I would prefer if you were watching what they were saying than finding stuff on your iPad to bring to my attention. Make sure I know the name of the blending stump. Okay, so I left white in the center intentionally. And then I'm going to grab the darker color, which is deep scarlet red. Boy, they have to have 3 different names for this. And I'm going to just put the deep color where the darkest section would be on the tights, which is definitely going to be under her, right? Like behind her shadow. You're definitely going to have a little bit of dark underneath the tutu. And then because the light is more in the center, you're going to have a little bit of the dark color right here. I noticed that design team member Steph, who's I think online right now with us, I think I said hi to her. She did some coloring that was really good, and she posted it in the creative sharing group. So if you all want to see what her coloring came out to look like, it was very good. She took kind of inspiration from what I was working with, and that's what I love doing, is inspiring. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate any of the design team members that kind of dig in and say, you know, I'm going to try that. I have that stuff. Let me work with it. So here what I'm doing is kind of just pulling away, backing that dark red into sections, and keeping the lighter pink in the center, and then putting that white back in. Now, the Derwent ink tints, or the James, you let me, oh, I don't want Derwent ink tint. I have this white for Derwent. Let me go here. I was thinking I used the wrong pencils on this pencil coloring, but I didn't. I'm just going to sneak this in here and kind of reiterate the fact that I want that to be where the light goes. And I will use this on it just a little. So yes, I'm mixing mediums, guys. I'm sorry, but I couldn't resist putting a little bit more white in there. You don't want to flood it like I just did, because this is not watercolor paper. There. So there we have the first tight. You can do the same exact thing on this particular one. Because the light is directly in front of her, I'm thinking more of the light's going to be this way. So we're going to put some of this super light pink here and here and back here, leaving the middle section again white. We're going to take the blending stub. I'm going to push that pink and melt that wax so that the pigment is all that's left on the cardstock. Grab the second red, darker. I'm definitely going to have it up underneath this dress or tutu. Keep wanting to call it something other than what it is. These images are drawn by the illustrator Maria Medal. And this particular girl belongs in the Troll Cricket Fun set of stamps. These are 4x8 sets too. They're big. You get loads and loads of yummy product in it. And the stamps are bigger. They are great and easy and fun to color. And they remind me of the 1980s, actually. Now, see, when I did the second leg, I'm taking some of this pink off here. When I did the second one, I like it better than the first one. So I'm thinking that it's because, also, I forgot to mention this time, when you're coloring with pencils, you want to lightly put the pigment down on the paper. You do never, never, never want to push really hard. Your paper is not going to take a ton of pressure and then continue to absorb color. So you are just barely, I'm not pushing at all. I'm touching the surface. I'm going to melt the wax so it's a little bit easier to blend into that lighter pink. Oh, I like this so much better, James. It just needed a little bit more red. And that's the thing about doing this coloring. Once you get into it and you start it, you're like, do I like that? How can I make myself like that more? What can I do to make it more? So I'm going to go back in with this pink and just kind of make sure I get that pink in there. And then I am again going to use one of the Derwent White pencils. Get this in here. Just to kind of really make that shine. Where's my marker thing? Just wet that down a little so the white comes and pops up. So Derwent is a watercolor. So there's the
I'll probably explain it makes sense so much.
tights. Makes so much what?
Makes so much sense now with the shade shadowing.
Oh, nice. Good. Well, we all love to learn, don't we? I love learning how to improve. Now, I have a limited amount of these pencils in my set. So I took a blue and a green out of the set, and I decided to kind of mix them to get this really closer to, a little bit closer to the turquoise that's in the paper that I need to match her with. So this is not going to be something that I'm super good at. It's something I'm new at. Why does this look like it's pink? I think I'm going to switch. There's a lot of pink on here. Maybe I just smeared it. Always hold your stump at an angle so you get a little bit of a point. And I turn the stump as I scrape against it. So you don't want to take this down and go flat. You won't have anything to work with. All you want it to do is look like, where's the camera? There. You want it to kind of look like this with very little pigment color on it before you start again. And then you want to dip it back into the gam saw. There. Okay. I'm going to melt that wax, build that green into the blue. Bella's very sad, James.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can hear her in there whining.
I can.
Huh?
I can hear.
Me too. I'm sad that she's in there. She usually loves being in there with Christian, but I'm telling him to let her out. I think she'll be all right. Poor baby. I can't stand her whining. I'm a sucker for the dog. Okay, so all I've done
Let her out.
is sort of mix the green into the blue to sort of create a turquoise that's going to match that paper. There she is. So that's the lightness of the dress. Those are the light sections of the dress. I'm definitely going to come in the dark sections right here underneath this little ribbon that she's got around her waist.
TLC Designs is our private group, right?
TLC Designs Creative Sharing group is private, so you have to just go ahead and fill out the questions and request to join. Yes. However, TLC Designs store page, anyone is welcome to come and view. You can't post there. We love customers that post too. I saw several different ladies that went in and grabbed some freebies. By the way, those freebies are still available in the store. If you haven't got them yet, go take a peek. One of the ladies worked with, one of my favorites is Norman Thrall. Oh, God, he's so cute. He's a little gnome. And I drew him with a Statue of Liberty little outfit. And he's just super, super sweet. And she put it in the Facebook group, the private group. And I'm so glad she did because I love seeing people create. There's nothing like seeing people create with your stuff. Everybody has a different way of doing things. And I think it's important to stay open-minded and learn from each other. And then I'm going to melt these dark areas. It's a gamma saw. And this is like a V again, but it's in the dark section, the down part. And it just makes those upper parts pop better to have the dark part in there. You can blend it in, make sure that that line isn't super, super sharp. Like I said, ladies, this is not my #1 coloring type, but I understand the technique of it and I do my best with it. And I think that's all we can expect of ourselves anyway. I'm going to go in with a little bit of this white. If you never try, you'll never know if you're any good at it. I'm just going to put some of this white. I'm sure I have some kind of white pencil someplace that I could be using on this paper instead of this watercolor pencil that's white. But right now, what I have in front of me is white, so watercolor. I'm going to obviously color this little band around her waist in pink and the little flower. Now, if I had a yellow marker or a yellow pencil out, I would put the yellow in the center, but I forgot yellow. I didn't pre-color this week either because we've been doing loads and loads of stuff, haven't we, James?
What's your favorite color medium?
Copic. Copic coloring, to me, I got certified years ago. For some reason, it just clicks in my head. And I understand what it needs in order to work correctly. This pencil is something that I struggle with because I don't necessarily understand why.
MJ McCauley says it's first timer and love your techniques for teaching.
Oh, good. That's great. So I don't necessarily understand pencil as well. I know that it's pigment, and I know that you're melting it with the Gamsol, and I know that it blends, but I struggle with it because I think it's that chalky look that I don't enjoy as much. There. I don't know how close you can get, but you can kind of see on that band that it's super light in this area, and then it gets darker and darker and darker. Now you can just keep, as long as you haven't pushed really hard, you could continue to build that red. You could actually add black on top of that red. I can't remember the name of Kitten Clouder, Zoe. I think it's Zoe. She advertised a picture that she created with a cutest little dragon sitting on a flower, and it was pencil coloring. Ladies, if you want to learn from what I consider one of the very best, go to Kitten Clouder and check out that Facebook page, because that girl can color. She's just fantastic. So that is the pencil coloring with the Gamsol, the blending stump. Such an odd name. And the Faber-Castell Polychromos colors that I have. We are moving on now to these pencils out of my way. My second.
Found your Facebook.
Huh?
Christina Robinson found your Facebook.
Yay!
Found you on Facebook. That is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's good. Let me get a drink here. I gotta have some coffee. Now the baby's perfectly happy sitting on Daddy's lap over there, so that's good. So now we're going to move on to my second favorite coloring medium, which is the watercolor. I struggle a little bit when it's in a watercolor well type of thing, like the Altenew. I have an Altenew watercolor set, but when they're in that little square well and you put the water in and you're mixing and you pull it over to a mixing cup and things like that, I think it's because every time you go to add water again, you have to add more pigment, and when you do that, that pigment changes. So it's a touch and go whether or not you're going to continue to add the same color. I think when it comes from pencil, for me, my brain works it and says, you're using the same color, just add the same amount of water. And it just works out better for me. So let's get to the dress. This, and this are going to be for the dress. I'm going to grab my template and just check these colors. So there's mallard green, teal green, and Ionian. So this is the Ionian. This is the one that I want as the middle. This one right here. And then the teal green is going to turn it into a little bit more turquoise, and then the mallard green is dark.
Have you ever tried using chalk pastels?
I have an entire set. I do not have any experience in that medium. I've seen it done. I think it's beautiful when it's done right, but I don't have any experience in it. So we're going to do this dress. This is the medium, and I'm going to go super light because this is just kind of something that's going to sit in the center area.
I'd use chalk on the sidewalk.
Right? You're so funny. This is an up, this is a down. And again, it's the same, it's pretty much the same premise. You're building a V. You don't want to push too hard because pigment and watercolor pencils come out really fast, I think. Then you build another V right here. This is an up, so we're going to do up. This is an up. Now I have seen, which one's up? This one. I have seen some ladies that color this beautifully with just going around the dark section on the bottom here, a white section in the center, and then another dark section. She's up here on my leg, James, wanting up. You want to put her on my walker and set her up with a blanket or something, and she should be happy with that. She likes to sit next to Mama. She doesn't want to be on the floor when Mama's talking either. If Mama's talking, there's something going on. She has a fear of missing out. She's definitely got FOMO.
Come here, Bella.
There we go. We're just going to add a little bit of water. There. And we're just going to, actually that towel came in handy, James, because I totally forgot to get a paper towel, knowing that I was going to watercolor. Yay. I'm just going to use this towel. It'll come out.
I'm useful once in a while.
It's a dish towel. You're useful once in a while. You're useful all the time. He was very useful last week. He drew the yard up because I have a handicap ramp coming for access to the house. And we had to have it like drawn up so we could tell them what we were looking for. And he just went all about it. Just handling the business. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, just like with the other pencils, but this watercolor is even more important to remember. You got to let each individual layer dry. So we're going to move to the pink. And we're going to put a little bit of pink on this end. And a little bit here. We're going to do, am I in the middle of the page? Yep. I love being able to see what I'm doing, James. It comes in handy. So you ladies like don't have somebody that's coloring way off the screen like this. I've seen that several times in videos, and you know it's not something somebody does intentionally, of course. But if you can't see what you're doing, it's like impossible to do it right. So, do any of you do videos? I'm wondering. There's a question that I'd love to see if we could get an answer to. If any of the audience here does actual YouTube videos, or maybe they do those Instagram story videos or something like Shanna does.
Probably all the ones that said they need a tech guy.
Right? So we're just putting some water with this color. And we're going to move back to the green, and we're going to go with this one, teal green. And we're going to put some of this. Now, I'm not going to go as far. Here's the light green line, right?
Chris Bragg does YouTube videos.
Oh, nice. Very good.
But doesn't edit.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't either. I just take the beginning section of it out and then work from there. So here's where I ended the light green. Here's where I'm going to end this middle green. So on all of these sections, I'm not going to go down as far. I'm still building a V. But I'm not taking it up as high as I did. And I want some of the dark underneath that band. Here's another V.
She's done one on, Christina has done one on how to create a DIY stamp press.
Oh, nice. Now I want to kind of keep that color.
Amy likes to talk, but wouldn't know what to say in the video.
You just kind of start talking. It's funny, you guys, because I have a girlfriend that is in Traverse City now. She used to be here local. And she moved up to Traverse City in Michigan to be with her, closer to her family. And she called me the other day. She doesn't have to be online, does she? You haven't seen Connie?
No, I haven't seen.
She called me the other day and said they've opened up the ability to go to the scrapbook stuff that we usually did like twice a year. We'd go to the, I think it's Stamping Up, or it's not Stamping Up, it's someone else, Creative something. There's a woman that she knows that is one of the representatives for that particular company. Anyway, we would go and we spend the whole weekend just at the same table. We would just chit-chat. And talk and show each other our stuff and ask about whether or not they thought it needed something else, or just, there's a camaraderie about sitting around with a bunch of ladies or men and artists that makes it feel more homey. You're just kind of talking to your buddies, your pals, your friends. There we go. And now I'm going to move back up to the reds. So I want the hot red as last. This is the second color of red. Am I still in the middle of the screen? Yes. So we're just going to barely add some of this to the edge and definitely to the bottom. We're going to put a little bit of that here. We're going to go under the tutu. That's where it's going to be dark. Just like that. And then we're going to grab the water. Just going to keep the water moving the color. But don't spread it too far into that other pink. You want it to stay, and then you're going to go over that line and just blend a little bit better. Don't forget, you can always add more back in. And watercolor actually is a lot more forgiving than colored pencil, because you could take some water and dab it off with a paper towel and it comes out. Yeah, colored pencil is not quite that easy. So definitely, this is an easier medium for me to work with. It's more forgiving. So I've sent out 2 welcome messages to all of the new people that wanted in the creative sharing group in the last 2 days. It's overwhelming how many people really found interest in that design team call. And I know that those images are adorable and everybody loves them. So that is really inspiring. I'm so happy to see it. I welcome everyone that is interested in trying out for design team to apply. I know that's where I got my first glimpse and insight to my complete addiction. My husband used to look at me and go, "You bought more?" What? You bought some more? Yes, I bought more, honey. I'm sorry. You forgive me. So that was the Indian onion. We're going to move to the dress again and get off of the tights for a minute. I think the teal green and then mallard green was the darkest. So we're going to go in and just go to this edge. Use the sharp end of the pencil. We're going to put that super dark color underneath this little waistband. And then we're going to build this color into the deep sections so that those other sections seem lighter because they're closer to they show more in the light. Here's a dark section. We're building a V. And this one is building another V. Here's a V. Actually, this one's more like a line than a V.
Chris Bagg said she thought about taking about applying for the design team, but I'm taking an art class in May and June. That will take a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, I do not intend to stop running the business. Then the store is doing fantastic right now. So there is going to be another opportunity, Chris, and I welcome it.
You know, one of the biggest things of art, no matter what medium you use, is understanding light.
Yeah.
Where it's going to
tones of the ink that you use too. I think that that's important as well. Knowing that you need those 3 tones because that's what's going to create your shading versus light.
I've seen somebody who is so good with color pencils that when he was done, it looked almost like a photograph.
Yeah.
It was that.
James, I'm not kidding you. The woman that runs that kit and powder, I had her name on my head a little while ago, Zoe. She has that advertisement out for her classes she teaches too. She's so talented. I mean, that thing looked like someone had taken a picture of that dragon and it was real, you know?
And with the art, I do the 3D art, digital art.
Yeah.
Light is the biggest part of that.
Right.
Because that's what makes it look realistic. I did one of a bunch of light bulbs that I drew. And one of the light bulbs, all these light bulbs laying on the table.
Yeah.
And then one of the light bulbs was lit up. And I actually had somebody ask me, how did I get that light bulb to light up?
That's funny.
And I explained to them, well, it's not.
There we go, ladies. I suppose I could do the darkest color of the red. I almost forgot. I'm sorry. Hot red. We're just going to go down this edge. At the top of this little shoe here. I'm going to do underneath. Again, very close to the black line because you don't want it to be so rich of a pigment that it takes away all of that other work that you already had done. Where's my water thinner? And then we're just going to add, let me get back on this water.
So all your people on here are from all over the place. We got
Oh, where are they from?
New
That's
York,
interesting to know.
Indiana.
Well, Stephanie's from New York.
Colorado.
Wow.
Oklahoma.
Nice to have everybody.
One of the ladies had to leave because she had to go to work, but she's in Australia.
Wow. How fun is that? Huh? Some 20 years ago, everyone would go, no, you did not talk to somebody in Australia and they watched you color on TV. And no way. I know when I was in high school, this wasn't happening. We didn't even have cell phones when I was in high school. Well, you know that because you were there. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm wiping off
Texas.
the water from the brush, and I'm kind of just dragging down the center of this to make sure that we get some of that pigment off. So I'm going right to the towel and I'm just taking some of that out. And I'm going to grab a little bit of water from this little section I'm putting on the, I'm pooling it on my desk. Don't tell my husband.
What?
Yeah. So we're going to go in here and just touch that deep dark red with a little bit of water to ignite the color tone. And you can see this leg looks much better than this one. So I would go back in, get the hot red. Nope, not that's crimson. Where'd the hot red go? What have I done? Here it is. Just put a little bit more hot red in here. And then the paper's still a little bit wet. Oh my, she's not happy. See if Christian fed her. Sorry about that, ladies. Little Bella is demanding, but she's super sweet. Love Bella. The boy is in the bedroom playing YouTube. And the dog is out here whining and barking. And you would think he would say, oh, I should help my mom. And I should take care of poor Bella's needs. That's what a good kid would do, right? Mr. Kama?
Yep.
Yeah. There we go. And then I just kind of want to dull the line between the darkest. Blend it a little bit. There. I love her. She's super cute. I gotta remember which camera this picture's coming in on. There she is. Yay! Actually, that blue and green kind of melted in there really nice. Now what you could also do, this is watercolor, so you could grab this white and stick it in here and here. And this needs to be, I need to sharpen this pencil. Put a little bit of white on this edge. Then you could go like this and add a little bit of highlight in the center and then wet it down. I don't like that watercolor goes over the black ink, especially the lighter colors. That's an issue that I've always had with watercoloring.
Do you ever use watercolor markers?
I do have the Spectrum Noir Aqua something. I don't use them a lot. They come out really strong. I know I have seen some videos where women actually squeeze out some of that ink from the marker onto a palette and they work from there with a water brush. I think they're a little less controlled, but if you master something, then it's because you've practiced and you enjoy doing it. And I think that there are masters of every different medium. So it's up to you. There, look how cute. Okay, so that's the, oh, and I didn't describe the paper. This is Arches I can't say it, James. Aquarelle watercolor paper. It's 300 GSM. Let me see if I can find it for you real quick. I can, because I kept it out. Go to that other camera, James. Okay, okay. So it is I can't say it. Aquarelle watercolor, and it's 300 GSM. You get 12 sheets, and it is 9 by 12. This is the paper that I use for the watercolor. And the ink that I used to stamp it with last week is VersaFine, because it's an oil-based pigment ink, and it will not smear with your watercoloring. So that's important to know as well. And I'm going to put those pencils off to the side. They are done, done, done. Now we get to the creme de la creme of my favorite Coloring. James, where did the girl go? This can't be good. Hang on, ladies. Let me find the girl. Maybe I picked her up with some of this stuff. Maybe she's on the floor. I gotta find the girl. Oh, there she is. He found her. Sorry. I don't know what happened there. I had a momentary
A snake, it would have bit you. That's what my grandma would
oh,
say.
if it was a snake, it would have bit me. That's probably true. My dad used to say that too. It's an old saying. All right, go to the close camera. Please, pretty please. Thank you. Okay. Now, this is my favorite color. What time is it?
9.
And we're almost done, so this will go really fast. So what we're going to do is put down the lightest color first. RV02. RV04 is going to come across this way. RV06 is going to go.
She just said just a few more images colored, and you can send each of them out.
Yeah, see, you guys are thinking on your toes now. All right, so I have created the darkest color in the shaded area. I want to blend that out just a little bit, and then with the middle one, and then take the RV02 and blend that line out as well.
I have to say, I like the Copics too.
The Copics are just, I don't know, they blend better, they sit on the paper better, and I'll actually tell you ladies what paper I use and everything. So you can do it as dark as you want.
What a difference it makes when you added the highlights in her hair.
Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much the top. What do we want to do? So this is going to be the bottom. We're going to go around here, in here, and around this edge. Still leaving some middle section. Now you're just putting a little bit less of this outward. You're still leaving that other color in there, and then you go into the 6. And see, not only am I better at this, but I'm way faster. Maybe it's because of the years and years and years that I colored. I think that's pretty much basically the issue. I used it more. I'm better at it. I like it more. I enjoy it more. So we're going to blend that line out with the middle color. Not getting rid of that darker color on the edge. And then we're going to take the lightest color and blend that line out a little bit. Leaving some of that white in there. I was going to do the R81, 83, and 85 on this like I did the other one last week. I want to really kind of make sure that I keep that dark tone in there. But I wanted to use these. I don't use the RV very often. And I kind of wanted to get that color in there. And I think it'll match that paper really well. So you can obviously see which image I'm going to use on my project next week. So also I'm going to tell you that there are some new sets coming. The design team is working on them currently. Excuse me. I want to release them. Also, there's no waiting for drying in between these either. I want to release them May 10th or 11th. And they are going to be limited quantities. They're super cute for summer. They're little fairies and they're camping. Little camping fairies. And then there's another set of some animals that I think you all will enjoy. Are you typing to somebody? If anybody gets messages that say it's coming from Tammy and I am talking and coloring live, you all know that it's from James, right? just say yes. It's not me. He's using my account in order to do these streaming events, which is fine, but he's answering with my name on it, which is good. I think it's nice that he can have a rapport with my customers and the people that do what I do and love it. There. Pink is done. She's so cute. I want to adopt her. So now we're going to do Copic. We're going to put the medium tone from the bottom I'm sorry, this isn't the medium. This is a light tone. This is BG23. From the bottom and top. You might end up with a little bit of white in the center, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to go to BG15. Yep, that's a darker one. And we're going to go in, and this is going to be a light section, so I'm going to build a dark section right here. Triangle. And then this is a dark section. And this is a dark section. Underneath this band on her belly is completely a dark section. So you're going to just want to tap. It's a pretty small little area, but if you tap it on there, it works really well. And then just follow this line. Here's another V. It's going to be a dark. Here's a dark. Here's a dark.
Looks like with these markers, the coloring goes faster also.
It does.
As much going over and blending the colors.
Yes. You really have to have a lot of patience to work with colored pencils, in my opinion. And then with the darkest color, which is BG18, I'm going to build a little bit of a triangle, but it's going to be a smaller one, like this. This one doesn't have an opportunity to build a triangle, but it has a line here. And then across this waistband, you're just going to come in. Am I in the center? Yes.
Pretty much.
Just going to come in, do a little bit. I mean, you do have to kind of really keep your eye on.
Sheila says you're in fashion. They sell them that way now.
What? Tutus?
I guess, yeah, what
I'm coloring?
You're doing, yeah.
Awesome. I have not bought refills for my Copic ink in a really long time. And I don't know if anybody else noticed this. But
Oh, the socks. We're talking about socks.
oh, yeah. I used to wear them actually in high school.
Unmatched. Because the sock fairies come and steal
The
them.
sock fairies stole most of my husband's socks when we're doing laundry. He ends up sockless a lot, actually. It happened to him. There we go. So I'm going to go back to the medium, which is 15. And I'm just going to soften this line a little.
These grandkids never wear matching socks.
I think it's kind of cool to not wear them. We're just softening that line just a little so you can't really... You don't want it to look like you didn't blend. There. And then the lightest color, BG23, we're going to leave in that area. And that's it. Super cute. Let me get to the right camera. Can you all see? It's got like little V's. Now, I didn't obviously spend hours and hours and hours on it. But I think it's pretty equivalent to what I would normally have done. And it was super fun. And I think that's the most important thing to remember. So there's the Copic ink coloring. I did the watercolor and I did pencils. And I hope that everybody you can go to the face screen. James, if you would please, let me get my glasses on. I'm gonna go over everyone's messages once we're finished here. We need to clean up dinner and do some other things around the house. But I appreciate everybody that joined me this week. I hope that you learned something from the tutorials, the little mini series on coloring. I know that some of the design team members are really working hard behind the scenes to do whatever coloring they want to express to you. I know there's one of them that's going to do no line, and I think Shanna is also going to do, there's something called rainbow coloring where the horse or the little image, the illustration itself is multiple colors. So they kind of blend really nicely and you get that ombre look inside of one illustration, which is fun. Never tried it, but I can't wait to do so. Is there anything else that I wanted to mention? We are doing the design team call. It ends, Jim, you want to put that ad up one more time? It ends on May 7th, and probably by the 10th, I will have chosen the ladies and gentlemen that will be on the team, and then we'll get them started, and they're going to start creating for us in June. And we do have some, I can show you real quick. I don't want to do it with the name on this. But this is the cute, look how cute. I'll just give you like a sneaky peek of the little fairies that are coming out very soon. And then I have, what is she doing?
She's bringing a toy to me. And then running away from me when I go to
I have
grab it.
these little critters too that are going to come out on the 10th, and these are really limited. I think I have less than 16 sets each, so it'll be first come first serve, but it'll be fun, and it's going to be something that I can open up in the summer, and it's seasonal, so everybody will be a little bit interested in coloring this. I think that's it. I think we've covered everything. It was really fun tonight. I so appreciate everyone that joins me here. I have a great time doing these with you. Let's draw a winner.
I already did while you were talking.
He did. Who'd you draw?
Yeah, I'm going to pop it up here.
Who'd you draw? Who'd you draw?
Christina Phelps Robinson.
Christina Phelps Robinson. I'm not really familiar with that name, but congratulations. I want to give away the Troll Cricket Fun stamp set. So I need you to, if you're still here with us, we need to make sure that you're here with us before we get up for dinner. Okay, awesome. Congratulations. I need you to send me, Jim, put my TLC, CUNLIFFE at yahoo.com email address up on the page. Contact me there, and tomorrow I will get this out in the mail to you. I have some orders I need to fill anyway, so I need to get to the storage and get those out. So congratulations, have fun, and we want to see what you make with them. Show us in the Designs Creative team, the Creative Sharing team. I appreciate it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night, and I hope to see you again next Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. and Eastern Standard Time. Bye.